That's right, you do. We are back, ready to answer your computer, technical, streaming, and cybersecurity questions. This is Brian Longworth, host of A Faster PC Live Technical Support. We're heard every Saturday in the 10 o'clock hour, streamed live to Facebook and YouTube, also broadcast on the Treasure Coast, on Florida's Treasure Coast, on WPSL 1590 AM. And you can also listen on TuneIn as well. Just say, hey, or Alexa or Google, just say, hey, Alexa, hey, Google, play WPSL. And during this hour, you will hear this show. Hey, we've got an exciting show for you this week, and we want to just go over that with you. Some of the things we'll be talking about. Number one is your questions. So you know what? If your questions take us in a different direction, that's perfectly okay. In fact, we have some very important things that we will go over today, regardless of whether we can get done with them during the show or not. And if we can't, we'll go ahead and extend the show out and actually have a bonus segment that is only on the live stream. Of course, if you're not listening, if you're listening on the radio, you're not watching the live stream, right after the show's over, you'll be able to watch it in its entirety. You'll be able to see the show, hear the show. Everything will be there, and you can catch that. It just takes a few minutes after the show is over, actually. So some of the topics that we will be talking about today, we will be going over how the Trump tariffs are affecting pricing and availability of computers and computer components. We'll also be discussing and showing you how to organize and optimize the Windows 11 start page, as well as going over the vulnerabilities that are patched by the Microsoft and Adobe Patch Tuesday patches that just came out this past Tuesday, as well as the most critical threats that we have seen in the marketplace in computers this past week. So getting right into it on tariffs, this is a big thing, and there's been, the markets have been rocked, and of course, Trump saying, hey, we're going to have tariffs and they're going to be reciprocal, and we're going to have these on every different country that has tariffs on us. And there's been a lot of countries that have said, hey, you know what, we want to negotiate. And then you also have this big trade war with China. And you know that a lot of things are produced in China, including a lot of computer components. By the way, not everything computer-wise is produced in China. There are a lot of companies that do produce in other countries. And thankfully, a lot of those countries, many of the countries, I think over 70 actually are saying, hey, you know what? We want to negotiate. Some of them are even saying we'll drop our tariffs to zero, hoping that they can still maintain a zero tariff with the U.S. So all of that will be changing, and there will be some rapid, there will be some changes with that. But what we're seeing so far, we have not seen any price increases really, or really I'll say minimal price increases from tariffs. Now, very likely that'll happen. And how long those price increases will take place, we'll have to see on that. One of the things that is clear is that there will be a period where they are going to have tariffs, although a lot of the tariffs are suspended except for against China. And by the way, as I mentioned just a minute ago, not everything is made in China. There's a lot of manufacturing that does happen in China. Taiwan, which China thinks is China, and Taiwan thinks, hey, we're independent. There's a lot of things actually designed and produced there, including a lot of the chips that are manufactured there. Indonesia, Malaysia, India, there's a lot of things that are produced. The Philippines, a lot of things that are produced in other countries. And I think what you're going to see, you're going to see some countries or some companies actually starting to develop manufacturing in other parts of the world, other countries that aren't going to have the big tariffs. China, we might have an agreement that we can come to with China, but if that doesn't happen, it's not going to be instantaneous. It's not going to be something that's, you're not going to build factories overnight in the U.S. You're not going to build factories in other countries, but there already are factories in other countries that are operational and can be used to produce additional products. Now, there are some companies out there that are saying, hey, you know what, we're going to hold back on distributing or releasing products to the U.S. For 2 weeks. Those include Dell and Lenovo and some other HP also. Some other companies out there are saying, you know what, we're going to hold off shipping to the U.S. for about 2 weeks. We're going to see how this plays out. We are seeing some components that do have longer delays than normal or usual right now, and very likely that is because of the tariffs and because of maybe uncertainty. Maybe they're not quite here yet and they're trying to see, well, how do we get them here, and can we get them here without paying tariffs? Or if we are going to have tariffs, how much are those tariffs going to be? So right now there is, for 2 weeks, again, Lenovo, HP, and Dell are actually pausing shipments to the U.S. Now, I actually just got a Dell computer. I got it actually Thursday, came in Thursday, and I replaced my computer. I had to replace my computer because my other computer that should have been working fine was actually failing. I will, in a future program, a future show, I'll actually go over that whole instance as well as some other failures from that big name computer company. I will name the computer company when that happens. We'll go over that in the future, so you'll want to stay tuned for on one of the future shows. We'll actually go over that, and we'll go over the failures of this company that actually led me to use a different company. And I did buy a Dell computer. We got it in Thursday, and I've been rapidly getting all of my software and configuration in there. I'm actually streaming on it right now today. This is the first show that I've actually done on this computer. But this computer actually did not come from China. It wasn't created in China. It actually was created, I believe, in Indonesia. And so, but Indonesia is one of the countries that did have tariffs, and then Trump said, hey, because of a lot of the countries saying, hey, we want to negotiate, Trump has actually paused a lot of those tariffs. So it's yet to be seen how much tariffs are going to be seen from this particular from other countries. So we'll have to look at that and see. We did actually just yesterday get 2 laptops that we ordered for customers. These were HP laptops. We ordered these about a month ago for customers, and initially they were going to come in about 2 weeks, which we thought, hey, that's a long time to wait for a computer. And lo and behold, it actually was a month. And I believe that these laptops actually started in another country and then were shipped to China, and then from China were shipped to the US. So there are some delays that we are seeing. And so, if you're out there and you're thinking, hey, I need to get a new computer, well, you might want to move pretty quickly. Or if you can wait a month, if you can wait 2 months, probably you'll see some clarity happening in the market. You're going to see some changes happening. You're going to see companies are going to be able to know what, if any, tariffs they are going to have. Most likely, we'll have some sort of settlement with China, whether it's we're going to charge you a whole bunch of money in tariffs, and they're going to charge us a whole bunch of money in tariffs for our goods. That'll, by the way, hurt them more than it'll hurt us, because they export to us much more than we import to them. So, just if you're wondering about that. But if you don't need to do anything right away, you could wait just a few days. By the way, my laptop was in the U.S. already, and I got it 2 days after I ordered it. So that was good. It didn't take very long. By the way, this was my second Dell laptop that I did order. The first one did not have certain specifications that I needed, even though it actually had a faster processor. But I can go over that more in another show. But that first one took about 4 days, including a weekend day, to get in. And but this particular computer, actually, it might have been 5 days, that first one, but this particular computer I got within 2 days. Didn't have any problems getting it, and again, I've been getting it set up, getting it configured, getting it ready to go for this show. Spent a lot of time on that yesterday, getting all the settings in there. All the different programs that need to go in, the audio devices, the audio drivers, so that your experience on this show can be as good as possible. But again, we are seeing some delays with some components. We have an estimate for a company or for a consumer that's actually going to have us build a media server so that he can actually have movies and audio on his own server and be able to watch it on TVs, kind of like he's going to have really his own Netflix in his own house. And we're building that. Well, the processor, there's probably about a 2 to 4 week delay on that processor. With some of our other estimates, we're going to have to say, what, this is the price. If you order it today, you purchase it today, we get the items ordered today, this is the price. But you know what? It's subject to change right now. We don't really know what's going to happen, but that's where things stand right now as we speak. You're listening to a Faster PC Radio here, heard every Saturday in the 10 o'clock hour right here on this station and stream live to our Facebook page. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back, ready to answer your computer questions. So you know what? If you have questions, well, we can't answer them unless you ask them. Our number, if you want to have your computer questions answered, is 772-340-5090. 772-340-5090. Also, you can type your questions into the comment section of our live Facebook video that's happening right now over at Facebook. You can go there, search for Faster PC. We have almost 23,000 likes. Or you just go to our website, fasterpc.com, click on the link to listen to a Faster PC radio. We're here. We're ready to answer your computer questions, and we'll be right back to do that. Computer problems? You need a Faster PC. This is Brian Longworth, host of a Faster PC Radio, where we answer your computer questions for free every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m. But it gets even better than that.
Now, wait a minute. How could it possibly get any better than that?
Yes, Cliff. A Faster PC has technicians standing by every Saturday ready to work on your computer.
Wait a minute. Technicians standing by on a Saturday?
Well, Cliff, a Faster PC has technicians standing by Monday through Friday for standard and emergency service, both in-shop and on-site. That means you can bring your computer to a Faster PC, or a Faster PC can come to you. And if you need computer service in a hurry, we offer emergency service both in-shop and on-site. We can handle anything from software installs, viruses, spyware, to multi-site VPN networking. Computer problems?
You need a Faster PC.
A Faster PC, conveniently located at 7186 South US 1, Port St. Lucie, and on the web at afasterpc.com. For more information, call 878-5978. 878-5978. Computer problems? You need a Faster PC.
From the founding of our company, a Faster PC has provided our customers with quality service and computer products at competitive prices. We find that in the current economy, this is more important than ever. A Faster PC recently conducted a market survey and found that our prices are the least expensive in the area. Some of our competitors charge twice what we charge. Perhaps that's why more customers are turning to a Faster PC. We're helping our customers save money by repairing their computers rather than replacing them.
Now, wait a minute. You mean a Faster PC saves customers money?
A Faster PC offers the most competitive prices for computer repair in our area.
Wait a minute. Technicians that know what they're doing for less than the competition?
That's right. A Faster PC can handle anything from software installs, virus, spyware, and malware, and those annoying pop-ups, to QuickBooks, Metisoft, and SoftInsert
support, from wireless networks to hardwire networks. Computer problems?
You need a faster PC.
Conveniently located at 7186 South US 1, Port St. Lucie, and on the web at afasterpc.com. Call 878-5978. Computer problems? You need a faster PC.
Welcome back to a Faster PC Radio. I know you've been waiting, a whole few minutes for the next segment of today's show. If you've been waiting to give us a call so that you can get your computer question answered, well, now's a great time to give us a call. Give us a call. The number here at the studio is 772-340-1590. 772-340-1590. Of course, if you're a little bit shy, maybe you don't want to call and be on the radio, this is your opportunity, by the way, if you do want to be on the radio. But if you're a little bit shy, maybe you don't want to be on the radio, you don't want people to hear what you say, then you can actually head over to our Facebook video. It's a live Facebook video going on right now. You can head over there. Just go to www.afasterpc.com. Click on the link to listen to a Faster PC Radio. That'll take you to our Facebook page. Or you can go to Facebook, search for a Faster PC. You'll find our page. We have between 22 and 23,000 likes. You'll be able to actually get over there, scroll down on the page a little bit. You'll see the live video, and you can type your question into the comment section. Now, your question doesn't have to be on what we've been talking about. It can be on any topic as long as it's computer related. So head over there and you can be on the show, or just give us a call, 772-340-1590. We did also want to remind you that we have technicians standing by ready to resolve computer problems. Our number in the shop is 772-878-5978, and we are located at 7190 South US 1 in Port St. Lucie. Again, the number is 772-878-5978. Computer problems?
You need a faster PC.
Yes, you do, and we are back ready to answer your computer technical, streaming, and cybersecurity problems, cybersecurity questions. You know, if you have any questions, it doesn't have to be on the topics that we have talked about and that we are going to talk about. Your questions could be on really any topic, and we will actually go over it. So just give us a call here, 772-340-1590, 772-340-1590, or type your question into the comment section of the live videos. So I mentioned in the last segment that I just got a new computer, and one of the things, if you've watched some of the shows in the past, you've noticed that I actually like to organize and optimize the Windows Start screen. Why do I want to do this? Because I want to be able to find all the programs that I use very quickly. I want to have the shortcuts right there, and I'm going to show you that right now, how to actually do this. So I'm going to switch over to a full screen, and so what we'll actually do, first of all, the Windows Start button in Windows 11 is closer to the center, whereas it was over to the left prior to that. But in Windows 10, you can move it over to the left if you want it to be over to the left, but you know, we don't necessarily need to have it over to the left right here. So I'm okay with it being closer to the center. I'm going to click Start though, and just go over some of the differences with Windows 11 compared to Windows 10. So with Windows 10, when you click on the Start button, you're going to get certain settings right above that Start button, which are going to include your files. They're going to include settings, and also you'll have a link for your user profile. You see, and you have a list, alphabetical list of all of your programs, and then you have tiles, and those tiles represent shortcuts for various programs or apps. So one of the things that we are looking at here with Windows 11, things are a little bit different with Windows 11. With Windows 11, what we have is we don't have some of those shortcuts. Some of those shortcuts are actually just included in the actual tiles that are pinned. By default, you have actually 18 pinned tiles, and these are basically icons for the various programs that are installed on Windows and actually are there so that you can actually open them. And just like your cell phone, if you have more than 18 of those, it goes to a second page, and then it would go to a third page, and so on and so forth. There's arrows to the right. You can actually go and you can go to that next page, and I'm going to show you how you can organize these, how you can actually get rid of ones that you don't want, that you don't need up there, and also how you can create groups if you're interested in creating groups, how you can move things from the second page to the first page or the third page to the first page. And my goal is to get everything on that first page. You also have recommended. So this recommended is just files or programs that you have opened up recently. And you actually can adjust this so that you actually see more pinned programs and less recommended, or more recommended and less pinned programs. So that's all up to you. It's personal preference. So first of all, there may be some things on this page there may be some things on the second page that you want on the first page. So how would you move that anything that's on the second page to the first page? So we'll click the down arrow here. Let's say OneNote, Microsoft OneNote. I use this quite often. If I want this on the first page, I'll just right click on it, and then I'll click Move to Front and left click. So that moves it right to the front. There I have it on the front. So OneNote is a part of Microsoft Office. So let's say I want to, and I do want to actually have a group for my Microsoft Office programs. So what I'll do is I'll actually take, let's say, Microsoft Word, and I'll click on it and hold down the left mouse button, and I'll move it right on top of Excel, and I'll let go. Now it created a new folder. If I click on that, I can edit the name, and I want to call this Office. So this will be Office, and right now we have Excel and Word in it. I can click PowerPoint, and I can copy that over there. I can do the same with OneNote. And I don't see here Outlook. I use Microsoft Outlook. So what I can do is I can go up here. First of all, you do have all. That'll show you an alphabetical list of all of your programs. But short of that, you also can search. And so I'm going to actually search for Outlook. Now, when you see Outlook, you'll see two different versions if you have Microsoft 365 or a version of Microsoft that you actually own that actually doesn't, if you have a version of Microsoft Office that you own that includes Outlook, everything will be there and you'll be doing good there. But you'll have that. But there's also this Outlook. That's the new Outlook. It's actually the new Outlook actually replaced Windows Mail. It's Microsoft's free software. They do want you to use it, but it does not have as many features as Outlook Classic. What I'm interested in getting on that start page is Outlook Classic. So I'm going to right click here, and I'm going to go to Pin to Start and left click. Now you see also there's Pin to Taskbar. So I'm going to also pin this to my taskbar, and I'm again right clicking on the icon, going down, and that brings up a pop-up menu. I go down to Pin to Taskbar and left click. That puts it right on my taskbar. So I'm always have it on my taskbar. It'll be real easy to open it up. I don't even have to go to the start menu. But you see it's not here on that first page. So I'm going to go to the second page, right click on Outlook Classic, and left click on Move to Front. So when I right click on it, that brings up that pop-up menu. I left click on Move to Front. Now I'm going to take Office Classic and I'm going to copy it over to there. So now I have this folder that has Excel, Word, PowerPoint, OneNote, and Outlook. Now, you can sort these alphabetically. You can sort them by programs that you use most often. You can sort it however you want to. And let's say we just want to sort this alphabetically. Well, first of all, P comes after O, so we can slide the P down, the PowerPoint down. W comes after P, so we can slide that down. And I'm just clicking on it with my left mouse button, and I'm dragging it to the position where I want it and letting it go, and that does actually sort. Now, one of the things that I like to use also is LibreOffice. I use it in LibreOffice is free. You can do everything with LibreOffice that you can do with Microsoft Office except for Outlook. Libre does not have Outlook, but you can actually create Word documents, Excel documents, you can create PowerPoint presentations with it. You can open up Word documents, Excel documents, PowerPoint documents. You can save them in the Libre format, or you can save them in the Microsoft format. There are certain things with LibreOffice that it actually does better, in my opinion, than Microsoft Office, and namely, that is opening up CSV files. Those are comma-separated files, and when I'm working with data, sometimes I need to use that, to open up CSV files, and LibreOffice Calc, which is Libre's compatible program to Excel, is something I could do. Now, I could actually right-click on and put each of these programs in there, but I'm just going to put LibreOffice. I don't use it very often, and when you open up LibreOffice, you can actually open up all of the other apps as well. So I'm going to right-click on that. That, again, brings up a pop-up menu. I'll left-click on Pin to Start, and what will happen, now I'm going to actually click the left arrow, which will take me back. Well, I guess it didn't. So I'm going to click on Start button again. So this takes me back out to the Start button. That is actually on the second page. So I'm going to navigate back to the second page, right-click on LibreOffice, click Move to Front, and I'm actually going to copy this. Even though it's not Microsoft, I'm going to copy this into Office. And again, I don't use LibreOffice very often, but if I want to, I can click on it, and it'll open up, and everything will run there. I don't even know if I've even opened up. I guess, I might not even have opened up LibreOffice yet. So it may be opening for the first time on this computer. I did install it, but it is going there, and it's going to be up and running there. So there are some things that Microsoft will put here as well on the Start page. And some of these things are programs that they think you might like, and others are programs that maybe a company is actually paying them to put them on there, like LinkedIn. Now, I don't use the LinkedIn app. If I did, maybe I'd want to keep it there. I don't want to keep it there, so what I can do is I can right-click on it, and I can unpin it from Start, or I could just uninstall it. Now, I'll probably just uninstall it because I'm not going to use the app. I'll go there on their website. I'll go to linkedin.com and actually go there, and I'll see what I need to see, and I'll be able to post what I need to post on linkedin.com. So I'm just going to click uninstall. Now, I can do this also. There's Xbox. I don't really use this for Xbox games. So I'm going to right click on that, and I'm going to uninstall. This will just take this off of the program, off of the computer, and I'm not going to get any notifications. You'll notice also, in addition to doing this, as I'm doing this, now I only have one page. So I've consolidated some apps into one folder, and I only have one page. Everything's on one page. Now you see solitaire and casual games. By the way, this is the new games in Microsoft Windows 10 and Windows 11 are apps. They're not like the old games. They're more fancy. They look better, but they also include advertisements. And this is one reason that Microsoft wants you to use the new games. By the way, if you're out there and you say, you know what, I'd rather play the old games without the advertisements, you know what? There's actually a way that you can do that. We can actually go over that if you're interested in a later show, or you can just give us a call here at A Faster PC, and we can help you get that installed on your computer. But anyway, if we wanted to open that up, if you were interested in solitaire, that's something you may want to keep. I'll actually probably just unpin it. I don't need to uninstall it necessarily. I might play solitaire one day. There's Microsoft Clipchamp. I haven't used that. It's their video editing software. There's also the snipping tool. I love the snipping tool, and I like to keep it there. I'll actually do a segment on the snipping tool one day and show you what you can do with the snipping tool. It's pretty cool. There's also Microsoft Paint. You have some other features like clock and calendar, or calculator, clock and calculator. So if we click on clock and we drag it right over to calculator, we now have a folder. And what we can call this folder, I'll just call this folder utilities. So this will be utilities, and I'm also going to take settings, and I'm going to put settings into that same folder. And so, this way, again, there's a lot of extra programs that I need to add to this screen. Next week, when we come back, I'll actually show you that. I might even do it after the show. But, I normally have a streaming group. I have a remote group. I have a Nero group because I have various, I use Nero audio and video software quite often on my computer. My streaming group will have OBS Studio. It'll have Zoom in there as well. Oh, one thing I need to get into this office is Microsoft Teams. So, if I go Teams, there's the Teams app. I can right-click, go Pin to Start. And now I'll click again on the Start button. I can now slide this into that office group, and I have Teams there as well. So this is how you can organize this, and really all of this is your preference. So how do you like it? What is important to you? Maybe you don't want to have things grouped together, or maybe you want to have multiple pages. But if you do want to have things grouped together, this can help you organize things so that it can be efficient and you can find everything on that first page. And hopefully that helps you out.
You're listening to a Faster PC radio heard on this station every Saturday in the 10 o'clock hour. We're going to take a quick break, but we'll be right back for the final segment of today's show. Listen, if you want to get your computer questions answered and you haven't called in, now is your opportunity. In fact, this is your last opportunity coming up. 772-340-1590. 772-340-1590. You can also head over to our Facebook page, and you can actually, from the Facebook page, you can type your computer questions into the comment section of the live video, and we'll cover them on today's show. But you know what? You've got to get over there right now, or give us a call, 772-340-1590, so we can answer your computer questions. Computer problems? You need a faster PC. From the founding of our company, a Faster PC has provided our customers with quality service and computer products at competitive prices. We find that in the current economy, this is more important than ever. A Faster PC recently conducted a market survey and found that our prices are the least expensive in the area. Some of our competitors charge twice what we charge. Perhaps that's why more customers are turning to a Faster PC. We're helping our customers save money by repairing their computers rather than replacing them.
Now, wait a minute. You mean a Faster PC saves customers money?
A Faster PC offers the most competitive prices for computer repair in our area.
Wait a minute. Technicians that know what they're doing for less than the competition?
That's right. A Faster PC can handle anything from software installs, virus, spyware, and malware, and those annoying pop-ups, to QuickBooks, Manysoft, and SoftIn support, from wireless networks to hardware networks. Computer problems?
You need a faster PC.
Conveniently located at 7186 South US 1, Port St. Lucie, and on the web at afasterpc.com. Call 878-5978. Computer problems? You need a Faster PC.
This is Brian Longworth, host of a Faster PC Radio, where we answer your computer questions for free every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m. But it gets even better than that.
Now, wait a minute. How could it possibly get any better than that?
Yes, Cliff. A Faster PC has technicians standing by every Saturday ready to work on your computer.
Wait a minute. Technicians standing by on a Saturday?
Well, Cliff, a Faster PC has technicians standing by Monday through Friday for standard and emergency service, both in-shop and on-site. That means you can bring your computer to a Faster PC or a Faster Faster PC can come to you. And if you need computer service in a hurry, we offer emergency service both in-shop and on-site. We can handle anything from software installs, viruses, spyware, to multi-site VPN networking. Computer problems?
You need a faster PC.
A Faster PC, conveniently located at 7186 South US 1, Port St. Lucie, and on the web at afasterpc.com. For more information, call 878-5978. 878-5978. Computer problems? You need a Faster PC.
Welcome back to A Faster PC Radio. This is the last segment of today's show. We'd love to answer your computer questions, but if you don't call, we can't answer. Give us a call. The number to have your computer question answered is 772-340-1590, 772-340-1590, or you can hop on over to our Facebook page, A Faster PC, and actually from there, you can type your question into the comment section. So again, just a few more minutes to answer your questions. We did want to remind you also that not only can you ask your questions at the Facebook page or by calling 772-340-1590, but you can also watch the video as well. So some of the questions that I'm answering, as I answer those questions, I'll be able actually to show you the steps that you go through to resolve computer problems. And if you're not where you can watch it right now, that's fine. You can watch it at your convenience shortly after the show's over. It'll be up there on our Facebook page. You can get there one of two ways. Either go to our website, afasterpc.com. We have a link that says listen to A Faster PC Radio. If you click on that, it'll take you to our Facebook page, or go to Facebook and search for A Faster PC. We also wanted to remind you that in the shop we have technicians standing by today to work on computers and resolve computer problems. We're at 7190 South US 1, and our number in the office is 772-878-5978. And of course, we're here to answer your questions. Well, your computer questions, and we could answer other questions, but we're here specifically to answer computer questions. Computer problems? You need a faster PC.
Yes, you do, and we are back ready to answer your computer, technical, streaming, and cybersecurity questions. And barring any questions, we actually do have a lot to cover in this segment. If we don't get it all covered, stick around on the live stream, because we will extend the live stream out if necessary beyond the period of the show. And if you're listening on the radio and you want to hear the rest, if we don't get it all the way finished, head over to our live stream on Facebook and YouTube. The links to both of those are on our website. You can actually go over there and see that. So here's the deal. Microsoft every Tuesday, well, the second Tuesday of the month, releases what's called Patch Tuesday, where they release security patches, or some of them are security patches, many of them are security patches, but some of them are addressing critical bugs and critical vulnerabilities. We're going to go over some of those vulnerabilities and also show you how you can be protected, how you can protect yourself, and how you can actually run Windows updates to protect yourself on that. So here's the deal. So Microsoft has released various patches. By the way, Adobe has synced up their patch releases with Microsoft as well. So there are also Adobe patches. So on the Microsoft side, what we're dealing with is 124 new CVEs, which stands for Common Vulnerabilities and Exploits. And when you factor in also and add in third-party CVEs, we're looking at 134 CVEs that are addressed in the Microsoft patches. In the Adobe patches, we're looking at 12 security bulletins addressing 54 CVEs. And so we'll go over all of these, and in addition, we're also going to go over the biggest cybersecurity threats that we are seeing in the wild this past week. So here's the deal. Microsoft's Patch Tuesday for April. So Microsoft released 124 new CVEs and Windows components, Office and Office components, Azure, which is their cloud computing, .NET and Visual Studio, BitLocker, Kerbos, Windows Hello, OpenSSH, and Windows Lightweight Directory Access Protocol, or ADAP. One of these bugs was reported through the Zero-Day Initiative program. With the additional third-party CVEs being documented, it brings the combined total to 134 CVEs. Of the patches released, 11 are rated as critical, 2 are rated as low, and the rest are rated as important in severity. So one of the things, there is one of these critical vulnerabilities that is publicly known and is being actively exploited in the wild. This makes it vitally important that you get out and install the Windows updates as soon as you can if you have not done so already. Later, I'll show you how you can actually install those updates. So some of the big critical updates are: there's a Windows common log file system driver elevation of privilege vulnerability. So this privilege escalation bug, escalation means that you have a username that doesn't have admin rights. And by the way, if you're using a computer where the user that you normally use has admin rights, whether it's used for work or for school or for your personal use, you are at risk, and your computer really should be configured with what's called the least privileges so that your username doesn't have admin rights. When a hacker gets a hold of a system that doesn't have admin rights, they try to escalate the rights or that user's permissions so that it has admin rights. That's what privilege escalation is called. So this is a privilege escalation bug. It's listed as under active attack, and it allows threat actors to execute their code with system privileges. These types of bugs are often paired with code execution bugs to take over a system. Microsoft gives no indication of how widespread these attacks are. However, you need to make sure that you install the patches so that you are protected. There's also a Windows Lightweight Directory Access Protocol, or LDAP, remote code execution vulnerability. So this bug allows a remote unauthenticated attacker to execute their code on affected systems just by sending a specially crafted LDAP message. They would need to win a race condition, but we've seen plenty of exploits work around this requirement, since just about everything can host an LDAP service. There's a plethora of targets out there. And since no user interaction is involved, these bugs are wormable. LDAP really shouldn't be allowed through your network perimeter, but don't rely on that alone. So you want to test this. You also want to get the Windows updates installed and make sure that you're installing those as quickly as possible. There's also a Windows Remote Desktop Service Remote Code Execution vulnerability. So what we have here is a critically rated bug that does not rely on user interaction. An attacker just needs to connect to the affected system with the remote desktop gateway role to trigger another race condition, resulting in code execution. RDS is popular for remote management, so it's often reachable from the internet. By the way, if your remote desktop server is connected to the internet, or a computer that has RDS is connected to the internet, and also the remote desktop ports come through to that computer, it really needs to be configured differently so that you can protect yourself. But if you're sitting duck, because I can guarantee you hackers are trying to break into your system. So what happens if you're leaving it open to the world? there are some additional steps that could be taken. Better yet, just seal it off so that you're accessing it through a VPN or you're accessing it through a more modern type of protection system. There's also a Windows Kerberos security feature bypass vulnerability. So there are several security feature bypass or SFB bugs in this release. But this one stands out above the others. A local attacker could abuse this vulnerability to leak Kerberos credentials, and you may need to take action beyond just patching. So if you rely on virtualization-based security or VBS, you'll need to read more on this or employ someone like a Faster PC to help you make sure that you are actually protected, that your computer systems are actually protected. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to switch over to a full screen. I'm going to show you how you would install the Windows updates. So we're going to click on Start. You will see a gear. If you're using Windows 11, you'll see a gear. I've moved mine into the Utilities folder, but otherwise you would see it right when you click Start. Also, if you're running Windows 11, it'll be up above the Start button when you click Start. So we're going to go into Settings. From Settings, I'm going to go to Windows Updates and click. Now, I actually installed Windows Updates. I've installed Windows Updates multiple times. And I'm going to click on check for updates. Otherwise, there would already be updates that were available. I installed, again, this is a new computer for me. I installed updates the day I got it, which included all of the Patch Tuesday updates. Right now, it's installing updates for the Microsoft Defender antivirus, and those updates do come out on a regular basis. And if there were additional updates, it would give me the option of installing those. I do have the option of installing Windows 11 version 24H2 because I initially installed 23H2. So I will do that. I won't do it while we're doing this show because that would take me offline. But this is what you want to do. You want to be able to get in. You want to be able to get the updates installed. By the way, Faster PC we do have managed services, and with our managed services, one of the things we look for is we look for Windows updates twice a day. We look for updates to programs such as Google Chrome and Firefox and Zoom on average every 4 hours, and also including Adobe Reader. Now I'm going to go over quickly the Adobe patches for April. Again, Adobe released 12 security bulletins addressing 54 CVEs or common vulnerabilities and exploits in Adobe ColdFusion, After Effects, Media Encoder, Bridge, Commerce, AEM, Forums, Premiere Pro, Photoshop, Animate, AEM, Screens, FrameMaker, and the Adobe XMP Toolkit SDK. So Adobe lists the updates for ColdFusion as priority 1, but states that there are no active exploits in the wild for the bug being patched. The patch for AEM forms is set to priority 2. There aren't new CVEs. These aren't new CVEs, just updates to dependencies. The patch for Commerce is also marked as priority 2, although the CVEs being addressed are important and moderate. Still, the security bypasses shouldn't be ignored. All of the other patches for Adobe are listed as priority 3. And so I'm going to show you how you can actually install the Adobe patches as well. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to again switch over to a full screen. Now, if you have Adobe Acrobat, you can manually download the latest version. If you have Adobe Creative Cloud, I'm going to open up Adobe Creative Cloud. And what we'll see here is updates. And again, I just installed this the other day. It did install updates even after installing the apps. And you see all of my apps are up to date. And again, just installed this a few days ago. But if I hadn't, if there were updates available, they would be listed here and I could install those. Now there's also manage automatic updates. So I clicked on that and I can actually toggle each of these programs so that it auto updates. And you see I have turned on auto updates here, and all of those will actually be able to update automatically. So that's how you would actually install the updates to Adobe software. Now, right after the show it finishes on the radio, we will go over the cybersecurity threat rundown, the biggest and most critical security threats that are out there. But I do just want to reiterate, if you're out there and you're not sure whether you have patches installed, if you want to just automate this and you want someone else to help you with this, you can actually contact a Faster PC. Give us a call, 772-878-5978. What we can do, we can set you up as a managed client, where in addition to remote support, in-shop support, maybe even on-site support, depending on the plan that you sign up with, we can actually automate your patches and updates.
By now.
And we're coming to the end of today's show, but if you've missed any part of this show, or just want to listen to it again or watch it again, because you can do that at our Facebook page and YouTube channel. You can not only hear the show, but also see the show. And when we've described and shown you how to resolve computer problems, you can actually see that and watch it over and over again at our Facebook page or our YouTube channel. You can get there by going to our website of fasterpc.com and clicking on the links. We're open today until 2 p.m. Monday through Friday, we're open from 9 to 5. And next Saturday, we'll be open from 9 to 2. We want to invite you to listen to our church radio show tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. here on WPSL. The title to tomorrow's sermon is, What Does the Bible Say About Taxes, Tyranny, and the Messianic State? You can listen to other sermons on our church website, covenanttabernacle.com, or our church Facebook page, Covenant Tabernacle World Outreach Center. You can find a Faster PC's Facebook page and YouTube channel by searching for a Faster PC on Facebook and YouTube, or by going to our website and clicking on the links. While there, you can actually watch the show, not only hear the show, but also watch the show and see the steps that we go through to actually resolve computer problems. A Faster PC is conveniently located at 7190 South US 1 on the east side of US 1, just north of Rio Mar. We're also on the web at www.afasterpc.com. Again, that's afasterpc.com. And you can reach us at 772-878-5978. Again, 772-878-5978. Computer problems?
Don't you know by now you need a Faster PC?
This time of year, some people fast certain things, commonly red meat on Fridays. Jesus said that after his death, his disciples would fast, and he didn't limit it to a certain time of the year. Fasting on a regular basis can have a profound impact on your physical and spiritual life. Consider periodically fasting something and spending extra time praying and reading the Bible, and see the positive impacts on your life.
WPSL, Port St. Lucie.
Alrighty, so what we're going to do, I'm leaving that Zoom meeting with WPSL, and this is our bonus segment. We actually are going to go over the cybersecurity rundown. Also, we do have a question on Facebook, and I'll answer that question right now and then go over the cybersecurity rundown as well. So Leslie on Facebook, on watching the Facebook video, says that Facebook notified me as of yesterday to change my password. She did. Today, Facebook asked her if she wanted notifications on her iPhone, and she said that she already has them, so she answered no. Now, one of the things you do want to be cautious whenever you're seeing messages that say they're coming from Facebook, even if they are on Facebook, even if you see these messages on Facebook. By the way, just to give you an example of this, let me even see. I'm not even sure if I can show this, but if I can show it, because I did report it as spam, but there was actually a notification on our Facebook page, and it actually said that there was a problem. Let me see. Okay, yeah, so it looks like that's not here anymore in my notifications. I'll just double check and see if I can see it somehow. Facebook must have taken it down because it actually was a scam. But we got a message on our screen that told us that we had violated Facebook's rules and violated their policy, and that our account was going to be suspended if we didn't act within 18 hours. And there was a link to actually resolve that issue, and that link, by the way, was not to facebook.com. So here's the thing you want to always check. If you receive a message, and let's say you're changing your password, it certainly is safe to change your password at Facebook, but you would never want to change your password at another site. You would never want to enter your Facebook password in, your Facebook username and password into another site. So make sure that you are at Facebook when you're doing that. And what I'll do, I'll actually just go over here and I'll switch over to a full screen just to demo this and to show what's happening. So what we're looking at here, you see facebook.com and facebook.com. That's where you want to actually change your password. And what you can do with that is you can click on your account name, and then you go ahead and click on your username. And so let's see actually you click on what we're going to do. We're going to click on the username or the account profile picture, and then click on settings and privacy, and then we'll click on settings. And this will take us to a place where we can actually get in and look at the password and make sure that we're using the correct password. So here it is, passwords and security. If we click on there, then we'll have the ability, and we click on password and security again. So two-factor authentication is good to set up. It'll help you. You can click change password. Again, you want to do this right then. You don't want to do this don't want to do this anywhere else. And you see here I'm at accountcenter.facebook.com. So this is a good place to go. Whatever comes right before the .com is the actual domain name. Account Center is the subdomain. If this were flipped so that it was facebook.accountcenter.com, I would not be at Facebook. I would be at accountcenter.com. And really what we see quite often with the scams out there is that you'll be going to a site that will look like Facebook, but if you look at that URL in the address bar of your browser, it won't be at facebook.com, or let's say it's, they're impersonating your bank, or they're impersonating your email or something like that. It's not going to be where you think it is. It's going to be somewhere else. Quite often with a very long domain name with random characters in it, random numbers and letters, and not something that you would actually use. So that's something that you'll want to actually just make sure. Just want to alert you that you make sure that you're actually changing the password on facebook.com. And in addition to changing the password, if you don't have two-factor authentication set up, you may want to do that. The most secure way of doing that is with an authenticator app, and you can use Microsoft Authenticator, Google Authenticator. There's also Authy. And if you own or if you subscribe to Duo, we use Duo, and so I have Duo there, and you can use those apps, and that can help protect you from that. So one of the things that we did want to just, hopefully that can help you out, just to double check to make sure that you actually didn't give a scammer your information. So just double check, make sure that you changed your password. Facebook should even indicate that you changed your password within the last, however many hours ago that it was that you changed your password. So go over there, check it out, make sure that you actually did it at facebook.com and not somewhere else, because if you did it somewhere else, bad things are about to start happening, but you can avoid those by just changing your password right now if you did it at another site. Because what happens when you're changing your password at another site, really what you're doing, you're giving the hackers and the scammers access to your account. You're giving them your username and your password. They know all that information, and you want to actually protect yourself from that. Now, we're going to go over the cybersecurity threat rundown for this week. These are the biggest threats that we have seen this past week, and you need to be aware of these and take action if any of these actually affect you. So what we're looking at here, let me see, let me get the right page up. Okay, so this is for this past week. There are actually 2 different firewall providers that have major critical patches and major critical vulnerabilities that need to be addressed. One is Fortinet. There's a Fortinet critical vulnerability that allows remote changing of passwords. Fortinet has released security patches for a vulnerability affecting its FortiSwitch devices. This unverified password change flaw allows remote unauthenticated attackers to modify administrator passwords through specially crafted requests sent to the SetPass endpoint. The vulnerabilities impact FortiSwitch versions 6.4.0 up to 7.6.0. Fortinet has addressed the issue in Fortinet switches version 6.4.15, 7.0.11, 7.2.9, 7.4.5, and 7.6.1. Administrators are advised to upgrade to the appropriate patch version to mitigate this security risk and should do so right away. There's also SonicWall has multiple vulnerabilities in Net Extension VPN client. SonicWall has released security updates for its Net Extender VPN client for Windows, addressing 3 vulnerabilities. These vulnerabilities affect both 32-bit and 64-bit versions of Net Extender clients prior to version 10.3.2. SonicWall advises users to upgrade to version 10.3.2 or higher to mitigate these risks. Administrators can download the latest Net Extender client from the official SonicWall support portal and should verify digital signatures before deploying. We went over the Microsoft Patch Tuesday earlier, but what we're looking at here, 125 security vulnerabilities, common vulnerabilities and exploits, 134 when you count in third party. 11 of these are critically rated. Some of these affect Windows, some of them affect Microsoft Office software. There's actually one that's being actively exploited in the wild. It's an elevation of privilege flaw in the Windows Common Log File System driver, or CLFS driver, and that allows attackers to gain system privileges through a use after free issue. Organizations are strongly advised to apply these patches promptly to mitigate potential security risks. There's also phishing kits are becoming more and more risky. Cyber criminals are now employing a tactic known as precision validated phishing, wherein phishing kits validate victims' email addresses in real time before displaying malicious login forms. This approach ensures that only pre-verified, high-valuable targets are exposed to phishing content, thereby evading detection by security researchers and automated systems. The kits achieve this by integrating third-party email verification services and deploying custom JavaScript to confirm the validity and of the validity of entered email addresses. If an email address isn't recognized, the user is redirected to a benign site, effectively concealing the phishing operations. This method complicates traditional phishing analysis techniques as unrecognized emails are rejected before any phishing content is delivered. And phishing, if you aren't familiar with the term, that's where hackers are trying to trick you into entering in your username and your password so that they can capture that information, so that they can then use your account for nebulous purposes. You want to steer clear from that. Bad things happen when hackers have your login credentials to your email or to any other site. CenterStack, there's a CenterStack RCE, or remote code execution, that's in file sharing servers. A critical deserialization vulnerability identified has been discovered in Gladiant CenterStack security file sharing software. So again, this has been identified, has been discovered in the Gladiant CenterStack's secure file sharing software. This affects versions up to 16.1.10296.56315. This flaw arises from the use of hard-coded machine key in the CenterStack portal's configuration, enabling attackers to craft malicious payloads that the server will execute. Exploitation of this vulnerability has been observed in the wild since March of this year. Administrators are strongly advised to upgrade to the patched versions promptly and manually rotate the machine key in the web config files to mitigate potential exploitation risk. Hackers are targeting SSRF bugs to steal AWS, or Amazon Web Services, credentials. Between March 13th and March 25th, 2025, a targeted campaign exploited server-side request forgery, or SSRF, vulnerabilities in websites hosted on AWS EC2 instances to extract EC2 metadata, including Identity and Access Management, or IAM, credentials. By exploiting these flaws, attackers tricked vulnerable servers into making unauthorized request to internal resources, allowing them to retrieve sensitive information. This unauthorized access could enable privileged escalation, granting attackers control over AWS services and potentially leading to data exposure or service disruption. The campaign was identified by F5 Lab researchers who observed that the malicious activity exhibited patterns suggesting it was orchestrated by a single threat actor. There's also a threat out there that we oftentimes talk about, outside threats, people from the outside trying to get in. But here's a inside threat story. So about installing keyloggers to spy on coworkers. So a recent case highlights the serious risk posed by inside threat actors, where an employee allegedly used a keylogger. Keylogger captures all the keys that are typed on a keyboard. So just think about usernames and passwords, emails, everything that's typed being captured and just saved to a file or sent to someone else. In this case, it was actually a fellow worker that had no right to do this. So uses a keylogger to secretly monitor colleagues and access their personal accounts. Insider threats can involve unauthorized surveillance, data theft, or abuse of privilege access by individuals within an organization. These incidents often go undetected for long periods and can cause significant reputational and financial harm. Organizations are urged to implement strict access controls, monitor for unusual behavior, and regularly educate employees on cybersecurity best practices to mitigate insider risk. Additionally, having zero trust application control can actually prevent this type of threat from happening as well. So those are the latest and biggest cybersecurity threats that we are seeing out there in the wild. We want you to be protected against these. One of the ways to be protected is to first of all know about the threats. Secondly, once you know about the threats, you also want to take you want to take the necessary action to actually prevent your computers, your computer network, your devices from being exploited by these threats. So how do you do that? Maybe you say, hey, you know what, this is even too complicated. I don't even understand what you're talking about. Well, what you want to do, you actually want to take protective action. And if you can't understand this, or maybe you don't want to understand it, and a lot of our customers say, listen, I don't know how it works. I don't want to know how it works. I don't want to keep myself safe. I want you to keep me safe. We can actually help you here at A Faster PC. You can give us a call, 772-878-5978, 772-878-5978. And remember, when you have computer problems, you need A Faster PC. When you have cybersecurity problems, you need A Faster PC.